whether the United States will deliver what it promised to do within the coming 2 weeks or so is still questionable. Whether the United States will use this truce as preparation for more war or military efforts against Iran remains still a question the whole world need to focus on. I personally hope this war will be over and the Strait of Hormuz will be completely freed up, as it was before the war of aggression against Iran launched by the United States and Israel on February the 28th. And the world goes back to peace and stability and sanity. Because this whole war, now that we reach this truce for the coming 2 weeks, seem to be completely insane, completely unwarranted, and completely worthless. So much suffering has been created because of this war of aggression against Iran, and nobody really wins this war because the United States has really suffered huge consequences, as well as Israel, and on the Iranian side, huge losses in terms of the lost life or properties, for example, infrastructures, etc. So I think mankind need to put this war behind us and move on to peace, stability, development, and sanity. Sanity is what is needed right now for the United States.
Professor, a very important question that's on everyone's mind is that China, which is Iran's biggest trade partner, was likely a major guiding force behind this ceasefire. It played a big role. How do you view this development?
Well, China definitely has played a very important role behind the scenes. The Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi over the past several weeks called upon more than 20 foreign ministers in different countries in that particular region and constantly engaged with them for peace, urging everyone involved to de-escalate and to avoid escalation and to work towards the only direction that's worthwhile for all the parties to achieve. That is peace. I think the fact that President Trump really gave some credit to the good offices that China played behind the scene as spearheaded by China. Allow me to give the highest respect for the good offices played by the government and the people of Pakistan. I think their role is indispensable and is highly by mankind as a whole. And I hope Pakistan will continue to play this very important role within the coming 2 weeks. And China will be firmly standing by Pakistan in this good office promoting peace between Israel, between the United States and Iran. And whether Israel will be happily joining this is still not certain.
Right. If you could briefly sum this up for us, and I would really appreciate a response on this, that the timing of this ceasefire is crucial because President Trump is all set to travel to China, and everybody is actually curious as to what happens in that meeting between the Chinese president and President Donald Trump. What can we expect now that a 2-week ceasefire is in place?
Well, I think China is fully prepared to welcome the important state visit to be made by President Trump to China, originally scheduled for the end of March, beginning of April, now rescheduled to sometime in May. Exact date will still need to be in the States. I think because these two countries are the two most consequential countries in the world. If China and the United States can work in the same direction, the world will have greater peace and stability. If the United States wants to confront China in any way possible, China will stand firm to confront the United States. So I think President Trump will realize that China by today is the major factor the United States need to engage with on peaceful terms. And the fact that China really worked behind the scene very quietly, in quiet diplomacy, to pull all the strings possibly and bring the United States and Iran most likely through the good offices played by Pakistan, which is such an important friendly country with China, speaks a lot about the indispensable role China can play in making peace and in avoiding war for the benefit of mankind as a whole.
All right. Thank you so much, Professor Gao, for speaking with us and helping us understand the role of China